Hey y'all, what's up? It's Friday, so I'm gonna keep it black, and I tried to keep it brief, but I couldn't. So I heard some of y'all was upset at Ralph Lauren for this whole Spelman and Morehouse collection. Not y'all mad at Ralph. Told Ralph Lauren had black people in the chokehold from at least 2008 to 2012. Now that might have been U.S. Polo Assassin. Yikes. Anywho, as for the people saying it's giving pandering, well, why can't it be a black designer? It was a black designer. It's giving segregation. It's called brand alignment. It would seem as y'all didn't read the fine print. You hate to see it, but I get it, especially when it comes to these white fashion houses. If it walked like a duck and quacked like a duck, then guess what? It's most likely a white-facing company trying to capitalize off the trending popularity of black people's progression. But this time, it's a swan. Let me take you back. It's post-George Floyd era. The world is in a tizzy, and Morehouse grad Jamal Jeter finds himself in one of those, wait a minute guys, I think racism might actually exist, meetings at work. There, Mr. Lauren himself asked Jeter, hey, how you doing? Well, Ralph, people are out here getting lynched, so what do you think? Just kidding, Jamal did not say that. But what he did say is that he wasn't sure that there was a future for him at the company, and then proceeded to challenge Ralph Lauren on what his company stood for and if it would continue to be all white. Following this discussion, Jeter presented Ralph with yearbooks from Morehouse and Spelman to show them that black people were indeed dressing down as well in the 1960s, the era from which the brand originated. So there was a natural alignment for a collection to be inspired by black people to begin there as well. And after showing Ralph these images, Jeter was then able to facilitate the curation and design of this collection himself. It's quiet. Still, I can see why seeing this particular era immediately triggers a lot of us, because every time I see a diner or old Coke ad, my racism spidey senses start tingling. But now that we know the context of this project, we have to shift our gaze, because it's seeing these exact same images that inspired a lot of black people to go to HBCUs in the first place. There is very much a valid critique on how these forms of dress reinforce standards of presentability and professionalism, reinforcing gender binaries, doubling down on the talented 10. Respectability politics, is that you, player? But that is not the purpose of this campaign. This campaign was designed literally to pay homage to the black people, generations before us, who were cut out of an era of American history, they made waves of contributions to, an era in which they dressed like this on purpose to express their own sense of black pride. Now, is it problematic that our great-granddaddy and them had to adopt the appearances of white folks to prove white people that they could be just as good, if not twice as good? Yes, but we still have to honor the lineage in which these ideals come from, as they were essential to getting us where we are today. Hello? Come on, somebody. Frederick Douglass, again, is the most photographed man in the 18th century. Not because he loved him a good selfie, but because my boy was clean, on purpose, down to the drawers, not a hair out of place. Because the only images circulating around the world of black people at that time were literally caricatures of minstrelsy and blackface. Illustrations of black people with jet black skin, akin to monkeys, exaggerated pink lips and busted teeth. And this man said, not on my watch. You will see the infinite possibilities of blackness today, even if that means I have to show it to you through your own lens of what it means to be civilized. But wait a minute now. Don't get it twisted. No, we do not need Ralph Lauren to recognize the versatility and dexterity that has always existed amongst black Americans. But we do have to be pragmatic, don't say it, and realistic in understanding, come on man, that throughout black history, white people's contributions have helped us expedite the process. I hate to say it, but Frederick Douglass himself might not have had the opportunity to be as influential as he was had he not been co-signed first by William Lloyd Garrison, then by Susan B. Anthony, then by Abraham Lincoln, as problematic as all them white people were. And I agree, the brand's commitment to this American dream aesthetic is problematic within itself, as the American dream of the 60s is literally built off racism. Not to mention the black-specific snafu that happened a couple years ago when somebody decided it was a good idea to put Phi Beta Sigma on some pants to sell to the public. My point is that white people engaging is always going to be problematic, because just like us, they have to undo what racism has done in order to move forward. Boo, we want to throw tomatoes. And here we have a brand with a platform large enough to help shift the cultural consciousness, standing beside us as we stand up in the fact that black history is American history. And no, it's not perfect by any means. But then I challenge you to ask yourselves, if you don't want efforts like this to be a part of our story, then what do you really want progress and change to look like? My chest. And I'm gonna leave you with this. Even my folks who are questioning the timing of it all, I need us to think critically about something for a second. When Jamal Jeter showed Ralph Lauren these books, that white man said, I didn't know this existed. Oh word, yes y'all, it is 2022, but if racism can be so pervasive that we are just now getting a black lady on the Supreme Court, you better believe it's pervasive enough that some white people still have no clue to what we are capable of. I don't know, girl, I think they're gonna have an attitude about this one. And what kind of platform would this be if I disagree with everybody all the time? This ain't Fox News.